Hey man, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson. Back at y'all. I'm going to throw a couple of different topics all in one. 12 or 13 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it down to y'all know I can get a little long-winded. I kind of wasn't going to do a show until actually tomorrow, but I figured I'd end up doing it today. I saw somebody in the comments section. People are still going on about me saying the whole thing about Roger Craig. Guy was really insulting, so I had to go ahead and try to clean his clock real quick. Jokers come over to your channel talking that mess and they ain't got nothing to back it up. But they kind of got me in the mood. I said, let me go ahead and jump on that. Instead of waiting until tomorrow, go ahead and do the day. I'm going to try to start doing something a little bit every day as the season gets closer. But let me jump right into this right now. A lot has been made about the Jamal Adams trade, him leaving, going from the Jets to that of the Seattle Seahawks. Good move good move as far as I'm concerned. That's a young man that wants to win. He was already hyping himself up when he came out from out of LSU in 2017 and whatnot. And he's already told you, he's like, he jumped 10 spots from 37 to 27 on NFL top 100, right? Already they say best safety in the game. Best safety in the game. And you got some good ones. I can't wait to see the guy Derwin James come back because he was all pro the year before first team. You got Minka Fitzpatrick. You got Humphreys. You got some guys that can do it. This guy, and people are saying, well, I think, a couple of people I talked to was like, oh, man, I think they may give up too much. No. And I'm explaining to you why it's not too much. First and foremost, you want a football player in this mode. You want that. That's what you want. You're supposed to have that kind of guy. I was wishing Dallas was going to get him, but I knew that because Dallas never does anything big on the offseason. Period. But this has probably been the quietest year and probably only because of the damn COVID-19 mess. But never do anything. I was hoping they was going to do something with Adams because they need a spark on that defense. They got some guys that are good, but I'm like, no leaders, nobody vocal to get them guys going. Wouldn't that show ended up showing last year how their defense fell off majorly from 2018. Here you got somebody right now, he's the best in the biz. I don't think no safety has 12 sacks in the last 3 years. He has 12 sacks. That game against the Giants was ridiculous. The man's a player. He's a hitter. He knows the game. Look at how he gets after him. He got hell of a size, and he's going to Seattle. Seattle, like I said, he reminds me of his play. Maybe not as tall as some of them guys, Cam Chancellor, or guys probably like Kenny Easley, but he's like 6'1". But that motor like a Steve Atwater, like a Steve Atwater and whatnot, guys like that. He can play them all over the field. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's not a ball hawk like the great Ed Reed. He's more of a tackling machine, strip sack type stuff because I don't think, I know he can cover, but it's like, we'll see what ends up happening with that because he only has like 2 career interceptions. He has 1 for a touchdown. But he's in his prime. People sitting up and saying, well, he was traded along for a fourth round pick. Let me see. I think it was for Adams along with a 4th round pick in the 2022 draft. To sell in exchange for Bradley McDougall and a 1st and 3rd round pick in the 2021 draft and a 1st round selection in the 2022 draft. So what? It's all a gamble. Don't nobody know what you're getting. Even when them kids coming out of college, you don't know what you're getting. That's why it's a thing called bust. It happens. It happens. It happens. Nobody has a crystal ball of what's going to go on. Everything is projection of what you think. And if you look at the projection of what's going on right now with Adams, if he keep going it the way he's going, you're talking about somebody that had 24 sacks as a safety. 24 sacks as a safety and probably about 420 tackles about 420 tackles, and all this will be within the confines of his 6 years, right? His numbers, his trajectory is up there. So why wouldn't you get him in his prime? So I don't think it's too much to give up for him because you know why? Because you're trying to win now. Long gone are the times when these teams are where we're going to sit back and we're going to build and we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do this and it's going to take us this time. We're going to get this player. You still build, but if you have an opportunity, like Seattle fought them ways back from the Green Bay being down, was it 21-3 or something like that? And made it a game 23-28. If you have a Russell Wilson as a quarterback, you're not out of the game because he's going to uplift everybody, right? They almost came back. If their defense could have had a stop with a player like him, they could have made a stop, a strip sack, a caused fumble, anything, a big hit, anything like that. If because that's all they missed was a possession. They get a possession, they win that game, and they're in the NFC Championship game. He can be that missing piece. And I think he really is. So I don't think you give up too much on him because he's at the top. He's at the top of his game right now. You know what I'm saying? He's at the top of his game. He's going on to his fourth season. Like I said, you talking about the kid is what? What is he, a young man? He's, what is he, 24? Yeah, he's 24. He'll be 25 coming up. He's at his prime. You know, like I said, you know, great safeties that played over there, you know, whether it was Cam Chancellor, the great Kenny Easley, guys like that. He kind of reminds me of Atwater in his motor, just kind of the way how he hits, you know, how he hits and stuff like that or whatever. He has that reminiscent of me because he's, you know, kind of a big cat back there, 6'1", 6'2", 215 or whatever. So it's like, yeah. So he has that. He can rush. He can blitz. He has that. He sure tackle. He got all that going on. So why wouldn't you get him? So I hate, you know, it's so many times that they try to sit up there and act like a defensive player is not worth his weight in gold when he is. That's when they tell you defense wins championships. So the kid, so I think it's a good pickup for him, and they didn't give up a lot for him because he's the best in the business. It's different when you sit up there and you pay guys a bunch of money, i.e. quarterbacks, who go and lays eggs at other teams, and you give them all this money and they didn't do anything. Here's a defensive player here, and he's the best in his business. All pro the last 2 years, first and second team, as well as 2 Pro Bowls. What else you want from him? He's in his prime. Is he going to want to get paid? Hell, he should want to get paid. It's time to get paid. And that, like I said, Russell, he wants to play ball. He's in that mode. He's ready to play. He wants to hit, all of that stuff. So why wouldn't you go out there and make that thing happen? So I don't think you gave up too much if you're trying to win now. And I think Seattle's in it every year. They're in the division round every year. They're there every year. They're in the playoffs. Since Russell Wilson, he's missed one time, and then he was balling out even that season. But the team just wasn't that good. Their problem is they need to finally find somebody to sit up there and replace Marshawn Lynch. That Seahawks team, them guys are done. Them guys are gone. 2015, that was at the end of that chapter. 2015, 2016, that's the end of that chapter. Them guys are gone. And I knew that. I told you guys, I knew that was going to happen when them guys messed around and Pete Carroll made that play, whatever. But I already told you a story about that. So the thing I'm saying is that it is time, like I said, they need to find them a running back, a real running back, and leave them the glory years on because them guys are gone. That's Russell Wilson's team, and that's what he's doing. He's doing what he's going to do with that. Now, also, the big talk is a lot of these guys opting out this year because of COVID-19, or let's say the Carnivorous Virus 19. That's going on right now, and just trying to get a beat on like about opting out and everything like that. See, this is one of the things that I look at, and it's something that's something I think everybody with this virus, what has happened, and what everybody's to look at. See, this is what I look at with football and any sport for that matter, but definitely football, right? So much money in it. It's the best sport, as I always say, but it's the most popular sport in the country. So therefore. And it's been for a very long time now. And it generates a ton of money. So you knew them guys were going to play. Now everybody's kind of opting out. You haven't really heard no serious names and whatnot. You might have Hightower. I think, what's my man? Couple of guys. Not really no household names. I mean, you started getting worried when you saw a guy like Tom Brady and Aaron Donald or Ezekiel Elliott, guys like McCaffrey, all of them guys thought then might be a problem. But Hightower, solid linebacker, put in some good years, got 3 rings or whatever like that. Matthew Stafford, I mean, his wife has issues and whatnot, health issues, so he don't want to be around that. But this is the thing, and this is one of the things that I had to learn. When all this virus stuff hits, and for a regular Joe Schmo like me, working guy, I had to go out there and get it. I don't have that amount of money sitting back where I can sit back and do that, or I have the ability at the time to work from home like some people can do. But you got to go out there and get it. So a lot of people are opting out. You know what I'm saying? Well, what is going on? What does it mean by opting out? I really had to find. I said, I opt out. Is getting out of his pride? Is getting out of his thing, or what's going on? And it was a nice little explanation about it. And it was basically like, say, like you got a player A, and he is due $1 million roster bonus, right? Now his base salary is like $850,000. Right? He will collect he's gonna collect that $1 million roster bonus, but he will only get $150,000 of that base salary. Now in 2021, his contract will resume with him scheduled to collect the remaining $750,000 of his contract from the 2020 base salary. But he will not be able to get that $1 million roster bonus. Right? He won't be able to get that $1 million roster bonus. Now, that's 150. Now, if you're this player B and you have a possible player B and whatnot, that 150,000, that's basically gonna be given back more or less. Like you're gonna be playing without that. You gotta get. That's gonna literally be given back. They're gonna take that from you. Now, if you are at high risk, like some of these players are starting to be at high risk, and some of these guys are doing that. Players in this category who opt out will receive $350,000 stipend, which is like an allowance or whatever. This is not considered an advance against his 2020 salary, but instead it's counted against total player cost. And it's not going to be, he won't have to pay that back. But $150,000, if you did $150,000 and did all that, you're going to have to pay that. That's going to have to be paid back $150,000, $350 because of you're in that player B, in that realm of being in that category where where you're sick or have the different health issues and whatnot. You don't have to do that back. Now, good, great, all that good stuff. But see, this is the thing. Football is any sport, but football, it's a what have you done for me lately? You're looking at a draft is held every year for somebody to take your job. Every year. So a lot of these guys can sit out. This is not like the strike season with the scabs and all this kind of stuff. That's why they have 80 guys rosters and all this stuff this year. But it's like you have guys who will, I'm not going to play. And these guys ain't about the household players or whatever and this, that, and the other. That guys, man, I got to take care of my, do this and got to do that. Hey, man, just like with me. Hey, they tell you, hey, you don't need to go out, man. You're going to get sick. You this, that, and the other. Well, shit, who going to pay the damn light bill? How my kid, the child care gets taken care of? How does she get fed? How do I get fed? How do we eat? How do we do all of these things that still goes on? People, the landlord still want his money. Bank still want their bread. Everybody still want their money. And you can sit back and sit in the house and be, man, I'm not going to work. I'm scared, whatever. And like I told like I said the biggest. I said, you know what a big virus is? That virus when you got that virus is called I can't pay my rent itis or getting evicted itis. That's real. Even with these guys with the salaries that they got and be able to do what they're doing, I hope they've already stacked some money because, like I said, a lot of these guys, and I'm just going to put it out there how it is. Some of these guys might not be having jobs when they come back for 2021. I'm just going to keep it like that. Who was solid players or whatever, they might not have a job when they come back. And that's the chance that you have to take. Everybody's taking a chance. It's not like anybody else is not. I know guys, some of these guys' wives are pregnant with babies and whatever, and they got some of the guys got their mothers, and she got ailing, is ailing and all this other kind of stuff. I get that. But at the same time, what happens when the money starts running low? You know what I'm saying? So somewhere along the line, you're going to have to, it's like we take a risk when we walk out the house. The way they talk about this, the Carnivorous Virus, when they sit up there and walk out the house, when you walk out, it's up 6 foot, 10 foot in there, it's around, it's this, why we got to wear a mask and going all these places or whatever. You touch your car door, you don't know if anybody's done something to your car door. You don't know if anybody touched this, touched that. It's to the point of almost being crazy. But that's the point. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening. And in football, it's going to be touching. You're going to have all of that stuff going on. So like I say, it's touchy-feely. You don't know what to do. But like I say, a lot of those guys who's opting out, look for a lot of those guys not to be having jobs next year. To be getting traded or had with starters, and they're not going to be playing on those particular teams. While somebody else is using this time as a bench warmer the last couple of years, now they have an opportunity to play and make some money and get up there. You know what I'm saying? And get up there in the money and and to be get known. So like I say, one loss is another man's game. Now you can say one man's game might be another man's loss. You never know. But like I said, these are the type of decisions that have to be made. But that's what I'm saying. Some of these guys will not be properly starters and on certain teams next year because of this, right? Because this is the decision that they've made. And like I said, what happens if that money start running low and it's not looking the way it's supposed to be looking? And that's a big one. That's a big one. Young ladies and women and whatnot start acting a little funny around there when that money starts getting running out and whatnot. So we already see what's going on right now. I'm not gonna mention my man's name. I wish him the best though. But like I say though, I'm saying that's something that has to be looked at. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's a decision I had to make. Hey, I'm gonna stay in the house, or what am I gonna do? Am I gonna starve to death and I'm well from the virus, or I'm gonna go out here and try to be safe, and so I'm still able to take care of my family? You dig? So hey man, that's just a little something I want to hit y'all with. I'll probably be back tomorrow sometime. Might even come back tonight. Like I tell you guys, like I said, subscribe, leave comments down there, share, like, all that good stuff, man. And like I tell you guys all the time, there is no GOAT, there's no greatest of all time. Remember what Ed Reed said. Ed Reed basically was saying what I was saying, but a little bit more eloquent, sort of, kind of. There's no GOAT, no greatest of all time, as long as time is still going on. And also, and to that chump I was talking to earlier, if he so happened to see this, I ain't gonna call your name, but because it ain't much of a name. Like I said, numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. And, like I said, you come at me, come with some facts and come with some numbers. Otherwise, you blowing smoke, boy. Y'all have a good one.